Oh, David, look at the time. It's
the Chainsaw Minute.
I'm David, and this is your dose of Chainsaw Man. You can join us every Friday where we see what masterpiece Fujimoto put out, unless we're too busy to put an episode out. My bad, folks. We're doing a double this week, so we're catching up.
Yeah, couldn't do it last week. Shit happened.
It does. It happens.
I'm Jordan, and if you're looking for regular Shonen Flop goodness, you can find our next episode to hear our first thoughts on Fabricant 100 this Monday.
Oh, yeah, that was an interesting read for sure.
Oh, yes. I'm going to have to jump on that after we record this, because that's...
It goes fast, don't worry. I read it all in like an hour and a half.
I mean, it can't be as slow as Standers.
Nothing can be as... Fuck off. So, just a reminder, though, these recordings are open to everyone, so listen in and chat along with us on the Shonen Flop Discord every Tuesday at 3:30 p.m. Eastern when there's a new chapter out. You can find a link to it in our show notes or on our site. And Jordan, what was your devil this week?
The arm devil. I don't know what happened. I slept on my arm wrong, or I leaned on it or something. But man, when I stood up, my arm was fucking killing me. I mean, it's a little better, but you know, that's what you get for being 32, I guess. Fuck you.
Right? Oh man, happy birthday.
Thank you. How about you, David?
So mine actually is related. I had the finger devil where I was at the gym and I hurt my hand doing something stupid. So Rachel, you will get no sympathy from me for this. And I was like, I really should have lied about how I hurt myself at the gym instead of the fact that I was lifting a weight and I closed my eyes because the lights were really bright and I accidentally dropped a weight on my hand. So that was great.
God damn. Yeah, I don't feel bad for you either.
I don't know why I didn't lie about it. Enough about that though, Jordan. Let's hear the plot summary for chapter 142.
Oh, I'll do the chapters. Remember?
Fine.
Yeah. Unless you want to, if you can do it in a cool way.
No, I can't do anything in a cool way. Go for it, Jordan.
Chapter 142, The Denji Fair Club. Dr. Roxo, the rock and roll clown. I do cocaine. Anyway.
That felt very Led Zeppelin inspired.
Well, so is Dr. Roxo.
Oh, man. And the cocaine. But anyway, Jordan,
yes.
Lay it on us. What happened in this chapter?
Denji and Fumiko are hanging out at the fair, while Nayata is enjoying herself on a ride. Denji tells Fumiko he didn't join the Chainsaw Man Church because he'll never transform again, which she says is a damn shame, and I agree. God, I'm sorry, Dennis. She also lets it slip that Denji has been getting watched in the bathroom, which freaks him out, understandably, because, David, he jerks off in there.
But I jerk off in there.
Denji calls her a stalker, but she clarifies that she is merely a fan. She does hate him a little bit because Chainsaw Man failed to save her parents from the gun fiend, but when she saw him transform back into a kid, she realized that she had to save him. She's not a fan of Chainsaw Man. She's a fan of Denji.
That's cute.
That's very cute. Anyway, David, popcorn you.
But then that motherfucker Barum shows up saying that he is a Chainsaw Man fan and loves to watch Chainsaw Man kill a bunch of people, get knocked down, but get up again. They're never gonna keep... Okay, Jordan. He says that in a few minutes there'll be a devil attack in the food court and that the people there are gonna want Chainsaw Man to save them. Man, what a great double chapter.
Yeah, you know, the first time I read this, it wasn't really blowing me away, but like the second time I read it, I really appreciated it a lot more. I feel like we're just going to get into why this week's chapter is a 10 out of 10. I feel like it's interesting how I could see they're going to make me like Fumiko more. Like she suddenly became more interesting of a character.
Even if she kind of is groping an underage child, which is weird.
Oh, 100%. She still sexually assaulted Denji.
Jordan's favorite pedophile.
My favorite pedophile. She's becoming more interesting, at least. And I did think that, like, the whole she's not a fan of Chainsaw Man, she's a fan of Denji was, like, genuinely kind of touching, you know?
So I actually think that was a really great line of dialogue where she talked about how she saw Chainsaw Man turn back into a human in front of her. And really it meant both literally and physically because he turned into a human, so she saw her identity, but also was like, wow, Chainsaw Man is actually just this guy. He's not this superhero. You know, it's like if you saw Spider-Man change back into Peter Parker. So I just thought that was a really clever line of dialogue from Fujimoto.
Yeah, she is still a pedophile stalker, though.
Oh, yeah, that's fine.
Yeah. I want to clarify, I don't like her, but I think she's going to become a more interesting character. As a character, I'm starting to like her more.
I got you.
As a person, nah, she's a fucking psycho. I mean, you have to, as has been stated, you have to be crazy to work there.
I mean, yeah, with like a 90% death rate.
Yeah.
God, remember Madoka, the smartest guy ever, who just said, "This is ridiculous, I quit."
Genius. The only smart person.
Yes. I also, I just love the wiener touching. They keep saying the word wiener for penis, and I wonder if it's a translation thing, like they're explicitly using the Japanese word for penis that maps to wiener, or it's purely just a translator wanting to do that.
Yeah, he might be using some kind of like sort of childish slang. They might be looking for the word that they can use in the English version of it, you know, with like to get by any kind of censor. But it also just fits for Denji.
Yeah, no, I could see Dennis saying the word wiener. Is this the first shonen manga? I guess it's not really Shonen Jump anymore, but is this the first time someone has explicitly mentioned that the main character of a shonen manga series masturbates?
That I could...
No, part 6 of JoJo.
Oh, you're right, yes.
Jolene gets caught masturbating. Oh, yes, man, I really thought this was a game changer. You're right.
Well, it is kind of a game changer in how it's brought up.
First male masturbator in Shonen Jump.
It's like this thing where it's kind of matter of fact. In part 6, it was kind of like, it was a little bit meant as like a sexy thing. Because it's like, oh, Jolene, oh, she's masturbating. Here it's like not. It's just like, but I jerk off in there. I think the casualness to which he says it.
God, such a fucking great line.
Yeah.
I also like how part 2 really continues to feel like a deconstruction of part 1, in that they're really playing with the whole every woman in Denji's life manipulates him in some capacity, and how Denji is really getting tired of that.
I really appreciate how Denji is just really starting to catch on, and it's a shame that this is happening. Like he's starting to realize that he is being constantly manipulated. It's really taking its toll on him. You could tell.
It's just hard being Dennis. That's really it. It's just Denji has a really shitty life.
He does. It's a shame. People are fucking him over real bad.
Yeah, for sure. I also want to say, man, imagine if they made a Chainsaw Man lighter, but the flint was shaped like a chainsaw.
To latch on to what David was saying, Barum shows up and he's like, see, I'm a Chainsaw Man fan. I have a Chainsaw Man lighter.
Chainsaw Man stan.
I also really appreciate it's sort of like the duality of Chainsaw Man, sort of like liking Chainsaw Man, you know, like Fumiko really likes Denji but doesn't like Chainsaw Man, whereas Barum clearly does not like Denji but loves Chainsaw Man. It's an interesting kind of thing. Like, I feel like Fujimoto is talking about the fans in some way. I'm not entirely sure what he's saying, but I think there's a lot to unpack there.
Yeah, I mean, I think a big part of it is Denji realizing if he wants to have this superhero... Well, that's the whole thing, is Denji doesn't want Chainsaw Man to be viewed as a separate person. That's why he's been trying to reveal his secret identity, because he wants people to love him for being himself and not just because he is the other guy. You know, it's like how Batman views Bruce Wayne as his alter ego, while Superman views Clark Kent as his real identity. And Denji is really going through the pains of kind of being a Clark Kent.
That really makes sense, actually. That is interesting, because it is sort of saying, you guys like one half of me, but together you cannot accept me for who I am. And both of these people want to force Denji to conform to the version of him that they like and refuse to allow him to be himself. They both want him to excise the part of him that they dislike. Fumiko wants him to not turn into Chainsaw Man anymore. She views it as saving him, whereas Barum wants him to basically only be Chainsaw Man.
Yeah.
He views it as saving them. Literally, he's in the Chainsaw Man church.
I agree. And Jordan, do you have anything else to add, or shall we move on to the next chapter?
Man, Nayuta's having a great time.
Yeah, I was just about to say we didn't mention Nayuta.
We didn't mention Nayuta.
She is the Kawaiuta.
I do love Nayuta. Sure, let's get into the plot summary for Chapter 143, Rower. XD.
I thought you were going to do something kawaii. I mean, like, Rower.
XD, David.
Have you ever heard cheetah meow? It's quite interesting.
Really?
Yeah, so cheetahs are actually not big cats because they meow. That's the difference between the two.
Oh.
Go look up a video on cheetahs meowing. It's very strange.
So they're just cats? They're not big cats?
They literally go meow.
Oh, I'm going to check that out. I want to hear a cheetah meow.
Oh, but anyway, the plot summary.
Yeah, so the weapons, and that is spear, whip, and of course Miri, who is obviously the broadsword, are waiting for the time of the attack, which is 5 p.m. Spear finishes up a cigarette and says their job is to make these people's deaths as loud and painful as possible. Go for the women and children first, cutting off their limbs to make the damage more apparent. As the attack is about to begin, Whip says that she's 82 years old, and her youth is because she was sent as a messenger of God, David. She's got a mission from God.
God, where have we had that before?
Blues Brothers.
I was about to say.
Just then, a child falls in front of Miri, and he just knows he'll have to kill this kid. He tells himself that he's also a messenger of God, and is just loaning out his body for a bit. He starts to transform Popcorn David.
But then, oh my God, it's Quan Chi from the top rope with the steel chair.
Oh my God, that's Quan Chi's music. What? I cannot believe this.
Everyone's favorite lesbian is back. She decapitates Whip and Spear and slices Broadsword's throat as the media reports that the gunmen from the Chainsaw Man Church have opened fire in the food court. Miri manages to transform before getting killed, but Quan Chi slices him to pieces when he gets up. She scares the kid away by going "Rar XT," which is Dinosaur 4, I love you. Meanwhile, at the Chainsaw Man Church, a middle-aged man realizes that they're going to get searched, and if the weapons are found in the basement, they could be charged with treason. Kobeni's brother freaks out because he didn't know about the weapons, and Haruka freaks out because he didn't know about the weapons, and the old man says he didn't know about the weapons either. Wink, wink, before that Haruka, as the founder, is going to take the fall for this. Fucking boomers.
I know, right? God.
God. I gotta say, you know what? I know the hybrids can't actually die, but imagine being killed by a badass lesbian with a sword. That's how I'd want to go out.
I know it is, David. I'll keep that in mind for when I gotta take you out.
I remember someone posted a video of like a woman with a sword on r/me, IRLGBT, and someone was like, why is this gay? And then like you see her take like her jacket off and she's like really buff and she's just cutting like logs in half of a giant sword, and they're like, oh, okay, now I get it.
I think I remember that, yeah.
But yeah, so the Jordan, what made this one a 10 out of 10? This was a very, very short chapter.
First of all, love seeing Quan Chi again. So glad she's back. Been missing her. She's great. I thought it was really cool how he built up the tension that the attack is about to happen. And you see Miri trying to justify it to himself. He's clearly uncomfortable with it. But he's like, despite Miri, who thinks, I'm going to be a nonconformist and not listen to what anybody else tells me. Seems like he's conforming pretty hard and listening to what people are telling him to do,
Yeah, I mean, I think the splicing of the clock really has attention. Again, this is like Fujimoto is unquestionably inspired by movies, and you can already see how this would have been shot in natural film.
Oh, yeah. It's very well staged, how the kid just falls in front of him. Complete movie thing, of course. I mean, like, I also love, we didn't mention it in the plot summary, but the reason why it's called RAR is because, I already said that, actually. I did put that in. I didn't initially, and then I went back and put it in. All right.
Yeah, it's okay. It's been a long day, the guy.
Yeah. No, this was definitely unexpected. I will say, like, they've been building up this attack, and then, like, we're reminded that, Section 7 is actually, like, surprisingly competent.
I mean, you have to be very good at your job to be alive.
Yeah, I also think it's interesting how, seems like the Chainsaw Man Church is,
not so great.
A little bit hypocritical, David.
No, never.
They seem to be run by an old man, by a fucking boomer, which they said they hate,
Yeah, I always think about how Captain Boomerang has his father called OK Boomerang. I'm just dropping really weird thoughts. But yeah, I also love how, I don't know why, this could be Fujimoto, so it might be purpose, but when that panel of Quan Chi cutting everyone, the kid, there's like a negative space that looks like the kid is farting. And like, it's Fujimoto, so I could have seen him do it.
Hold on. It does. It totally does.
Fujimoto probably did that on purpose.
I don't know, but it's really funny.
Oh man, that's why we loved Fujimoto.
Yeah, I also love how Whip is saying it's showtime, like from her decapitated head.
Well, that's just his peak. Like again, this is like it's hard. I feel cinematography isn't the right word, but I don't know what else to say.
Yeah, it's really good tension building. The angles are really interesting where, you see Mary looking down at the kid
Yeah.
Yeah, no, I mean, this Fujimoto guy, he seems to know how to make manga.
Whoa, that's pretty cool.
Also, I mean, the shot where Quan Chi just slices Miri into like 1,000 pieces is also really cool. Also, something interesting, David, the boomer starts talking about how, oh man, they're gonna find the weapons in the basement, and it's part of me is like, oh, they have guns, or is it like they have more weapon demons?
Yeah, that's what I was thinking, more hybrids.
Huh, shit's getting interesting, David.
Yeah. Also, thank you, Duderox, for posting the art again. I will say 100% certainty, Fujimoto definitely made it look like he was farting in that page. So this chapter was only 14 pages, but man, so much went on. I am definitely hyped. I also want to say Fujimoto still cannot fucking draw shoes for the life of him.
Hey, shoes are hard.
That is true. It's interesting the Whip Hybrid said she is 86 years old. So do you think she
82.
got de-aged or whatever. She's a boomer or super boomer. Do you think that means that she got de-aged, or do you think hybrids have been around a lot longer than you think?
First of all, David, I believe that means she's a member of the greatest generation. So called because they fought in World War II, which I don't know. She would be in the Axis powers. So I don't know how comfortable I feel about that.
Oof. Ouch.
Well, nobody remembers the Nazis anyway.
Oh, that's true.
Canonically, in Chainsaw Man, at least. But yeah, I mean, I guess why wouldn't the Weapons Devils have been around for a long time? Is there a reason that I'm forgetting?
Like, I guess I just never really thought about it, especially because it sounds like Swordman is around Denji's age, and Rize never gave us any thought that she was substantially older, because Quan Chi is only probably in her 50s as well.
Yeah.
She's only been a hybrid for maybe 20 years.
Yeah, go figure. It's ironic that she thinks that, you know, she's a messenger from God when she is literally a hybrid devil, David. How interesting.
Yeah.
It's almost like these guys are a little bit twisted.
Yep. Oh, man, Fujimoto, good at writing. You heard it here first, listeners.
Oh, man. Themes, plots, and motifs? What?
God, does it again. Oh, I still need someone to draw that fan art of someone showing, Oh, yeah, it's like, I wish I had an AI generator to have someone handing, Quentin Tarantino handing Martin Scorsese a copy of Chainsaw Man. And saying, this is Kino.
And
so
then
anyway,
they're
Jordan,
eating a
thank you so
glizzy,
much.
right?
Yes, and they're eating a glizzy. And so, Jordan, though, I want to say thank you so much for all of your hard work on the show, because if I didn't know a time to stop the recording, that's it.
David, thank you so much for all of your hard work putting the show together and editing. It means a lot to me, means a lot to our listeners, David. Thank you so much.
Yeah.
Oh my God.
And you can find us on Twitter at Shonen Flopcast and our website, shonenflop.com. We're also on Spotify, iTunes, YouTube, wherever else you get our podcasts, and check us out at shonen-flop at tumblr.com. Jordan's been killing it there.
Hell yes.
Props to Shannon for the awesome cover art. Find her online at illuminyatea. As a reminder, you can join us recording every Tuesday at 3:30 p.m. Eastern when there's a new chapter out. And stay tuned for Monday as we give our first thoughts on Fabricant 100, probably one of the most requested series in history, even though it's only been canceled for 3 weeks. People really were asking us to cover it.
I think people were aware it was going to get canceled.
Oh, man. And so it's crazy that how all the hybrids have shown up, except for the fact that...
Oh, David, I'm looking at the clock, and you got to shut the fuck up because it looks like the Chainsaw Minute's passed.
Bye.
Bye. The Chainsaw Minute!